Hello, everyone. Welcome to More Than These Guys. This is a show about two and sometimes three older, I guess, millennials or zennials. What are we, anyways? Guys who
I'm
come,
definitely Gen X. I'm
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
old.
firmly in
I'm
Gen
on the
X.
cusp. I'm Gen X, but I'm close to the millennial. I'm a year or two younger than you, Ed. So,
Oh, yeah.
anyways, journey going back through Transformers from the beginning and seeing if the show holds up or if it is a trap of nostalgia. We'll look for all things, including real world factors that creep into the episodes and see how it holds up after all this time. I'm here with Ed, who was back from the 8 month sabbatical still. I'm very proud to see him here. And we are with Jayhu of the Real Phonies, REELPHONIES, Phonies podcast. Also, lifelong friend of Ed here, or at least decades old. I don't know how far y'all go back. So,
The
welcome
life I
everyone.
can remember
Yeah,
has
that's
it.
see, that's the rum talking. Um, yeah, so we get into episode Cosmic Rust this week, and I was thinking, like, man, I've been going through once again. I feel like I talk about this every 6 months, going through another bin of treasures that I've forgotten about, and Cosmic Rust me kind of made me laugh at this. You like find random parts of Thundercracker's wing, like uh, Bomber's like shoulder. There's all kinds of random stuff, and you look at this going like, dude, what is all this worth? Well, I decided to go looking, and we talk about the state of the of fandoms and random nerd stuff. These two tiny little guns, they go on Scorponok's little like roll guy named Fast Track. Those two go for about $80. That's what's wrong with fandom. You
That's
can't enjoy
crazy.
$80. These
Um,
things are like not even an inch long each. And I'm like, oh, what do these go to? And I looked it up. I'm like, oh my God, okay, those going into a plastic bag, and I'm gonna look at them from across the room. Because it's one of those things everyone loses those little pieces. Like when you had the B-wing fighter pilot, you always lost the gun. It was the only
I,
guy who used
I
the
was
gun.
gonna say the Demon Fighter pilot because he was the only figure that came with that gun,
Yeah,
and that gun was super rare.
it was a handgun. It was a Star Wars figure. Of course, you lost them. Like
Yeah,
I
but
actually,
it wasn't like a generic like Star Wars gun because like everybody they had
oh,
there was one pistol that everybody had, the Han Solo pistol,
yep,
and then there was one rifle that was a stormtrooper
yeah,
rifle,
I was gonna
and
say.
everybody came with one or the other of those. But B-wing pilot came with a bespoke gun that was just
Hmm.
his. He was the
It's
only
kind of a cool
figure
looking
that
gun. I used to have it. I got it probably somewhere around here, in the
uh,
box. Who knows?
Well, and they only made him for Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
So the rest of them they made for three movies.
They did not put him back out when they did the reissue of the B-wing.
Oh,
Or
I don't know. My
I don't
collecting
know either.
toys, like action figures, stops in like 1997 or so.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah, mine exactly. No, I
I
mean,
will say every now and then there is something that'll come out, and then I'm like, man, I should start collecting these things or whatever.
yeah,
There's been a big Snoopy renaissance going on right now because it's like the 80th anniversary of Peanuts, and so
Right.
like
okay.
my yeah, so my Instagram feed is just like Snoopy stuff. It's like a post, my friend's post, T-shirt bootlegger, three Peanuts ads, and then back to normal, and then three Peanuts ads, and it's like Super Seven, I think, has these blind pack Peanuts
Mm,
guys, and I'm like,
something
I'm
like
trying to
that.
collect those, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's a slippery slope, man.
It is, man.
Yeah.
I got these little blockies or whatever that they have at Walmart for like $5 a piece. They're like little snap together, simple like model kits that Transformers stuff, and they're just fun. It's like, well, no, I'll get one and just put together in the car. It's just they're fun little posable statues. They don't transform. But there's this. It's something about the stuff like that that holds up over time, and I like the non-exclusivity about some of the stuff.
Mm.
Like I want like it's cool that I have these little guys, and some of these things behind me are ridiculously expensive. Um, but I like to I like to be where you can say like I just have fun with that. I want to do things that make me happy about it. And like honestly, that's the whole reason for this podcast. I don't know if y'all ever caught on to that, but so there are some things that it's nice not having exclusivity and gatekeeping as far as hobbies go. And I'm like looking at all this stuff like these little chunks of plastic are really cool. But at the end of the day, I don't care that those are worth like $80 for two of them. I just kind of want to find and put it all together and have it whole again. So in that grand scheme of things, yeah.
Oh, I keep meaning to collect Simpsons figures. I've been watching a lot of Simpsons lately, and I keep meaning to collect those figures. But I guess there's two different series of these things, and I'm like, man, I don't have that much brain power to dedicate
No.
to remembering which one is which or which one I'm collecting or whatever. So
Mm. Man,
Like
I don't know if this is a thing to say in public because if I change my mind, I bet be held to it. But of the late '90s, early '80s Simpsons, I have almost a full collection of that, and I was thinking about putting it in Goodwill.
the World of Springfield ones.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
brother,
think
dude, if you decide to get rid of those, holler at your boy because
I will. I will.
that was the exact one. Those were the ones that I like because they're like
Here's the reason why I have no interest in them. And my God, this is stupid. But of the Itchy and Scratchy, I lost Itchy.
oh
Oh,
no.
And I'm like, okay, then I don't want any of them.
that sounds like such an Ed thing to do.
That's
No
a
wonder
very
y'all are such good friends.
It does sound like an Ed thing.
God, yes. Well, if Eddie's on the band, I guess it's not Van Halen anymore. Now, it doesn't. I get that though, because it's like, what if you had Tom and Jerry and you lost Tom?
Right.
Jerry's just an mouse after
I
that.
would find another Tom, but then again, I don't like rebuying things that I've bought in the past. Like
There's that
that's
too.
why I don't like loaning out books because I know if I loan a book out, I'm not getting that book back.
Mhm.
But like I cannot stand like buying a book that I already bought and read on the off chance I'm going to read it again.
I hate doing that too, but I've bought The Dark Knight Returns so many times.
I was literally going to say The Dark Knight and Watchmen I have bought so many
Yeah.
times.
Because that's like my go-to loan out. Oh, you're interested in comics? Here, try this.
One of these. Yeah, exactly.
I've done that with a few, like just novels. I buy it because I don't want to, I know I'm going to lose it. So like I find it cheap somewhere on like half.com and here you go, read this. So yeah.
I went through a phase where I did all my reading on an iPad.
Right.
And so I was like, I'm just not going to own physical books anymore. And the pendulum has swung the other way where I'm like all in on paper books these days. And I don't want to read anything on a screen. Like I don't even want to read work on a screen anymore. Like I don't want to. I just want to work. Like,
I get that completely. Like for instance, like we've come away from like, okay, for instance, records, 8 tracks, cassettes, and then we go to CDs. And now it's everything streaming. But now I got to the point where like my wife and I have been slowly rebuilding a vinyl collection because it just sounds really good. I'm asking your opinion on like what kind of what turntable I should get, and then with an Audio Technica, which is pretty good. It's kind of cool because it Bluetooths into all my speakers.
Mhm.
But to listen to Yes on an album rather than listening to it streaming is just a totally different experience. And you have to get up and flip that bad boy over.
Right.
After when you get really into it, like, oh, just you flip it over, you get back into it, it's over. But
well, and I think with a lot of that, it's not just the fidelity; it's just it sounding correct to you because that's how
exactly it. It has
like,
a crunchiness.
Descendants All or the first Stone Roses record. I know that cassette is a crappy format, but those records sound right on cassette to me.
Yeah, I know. That's another thing that kind of is becoming big again is cassettes. I looked at that going, why, man? I'd throw out a cassette after I warped it, 20 miles apart, and it just sounds all funny now.
A cassette was definitely a temporary purchase.
It was terrible for that. And, but you know what's not a temporary purchase? The Black Plague. And when the Black Plague hit Cybertronians, that becomes Cosmic Rust. Okay, that was that was a hard transition.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Well, I was going to do it.
I was going to do it. I was going to say, well, like I'll tell you what's a really good record, and spurred on by conversation with Jayhu lately about playing guitar is Neil Young's "Rust Never Sleeps," and which I was gonna somehow spin that into Cosmic Rust.
I guess I could have gone the Soundgarden route in the Rusty Cage, and I love that album, Bad Motorfinger.
That's the last good Soundgarden.
That is a great album.
That's a great album. That's the last good Soundgarden record.
I don't know if I can agree with that. Oh, I really like Super Unknown.
I like some of Super Unknown.
Those guys, when they were a pop band, I had zero patience for those guys.
Yeah, well, it's like Red Chili Peppers. I kind of lost interest when they became more pop friendly. Now they still do a lot of genres. They still blend genres really well. But I think when they became really popular and poppy, they kind of got away from me. After Blood Sugar Sex Magic, I just,
Well, also when they became the favorite band of any guy who installs above ground pools,
Oh, you're not wrong. That and then they had to transition from Nickelback somehow.
Right.
So, which my wife loves Nickelback and she loves Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I'm waiting for the glares over behind me.
And I don't want to sound like I'm hating on above ground pools. If I could afford one, I'd have one in the
Oh,
yard.
I would too. And I had a back porch pool the last 2 years because I have woods behind me and I rent this house and I needed a pool to sit in because I'm old and I get sweaty now. I hate it.
Hey, you guys know the wrestler Yokozuna, right? The guy.
Yeah.
Boy, do I.
So he's from our town. He's
Right,
from
right, right.
Yeah.
Pensacola. So a friend of mine was driving around over in Mayfair one day, and I just saw him sitting in like those little blue plastic those kiddie pools. He had one of those in his front yard, and he's just sitting in it, like
That
drinking
would have been me.
in the front
I could
yard.
have done that.
Man.
That's what I did in my backyard. I have pictures to prove it, man.
I love Yoko, but that's asking a lot of a kiddie pool. That's a lot of dude to put in a kiddie pool.
Well, listeners, if you don't know who Yokozuna like legitimately weighed 500 pounds, and
He's a big dude.
he had a sumo wrestler gimmick, and this dude legitimately weighed 500
Dude,
pounds.
he weighed 500 when he was in shape. Like,
Yeah.
when he started to go downhill, there was more.
Yeah,
My wife is-
'cause he got so big he couldn't move around. But
Yeah.
yeah.
My wife got really well. So she got really patient with me last year. Like I had a whole setup though, like the whole back porch pool. Brought the my workout bench out, put the one of our TVs on it, and we were watching Jaws in the pool, hanging out on a summer night. It was the best thing ever.
That sounds pretty awesome.
It was, of course, I was drinking. It was even better that way. So, anyways, Cosmic Rust, man.
Cosmic Rust. So, okay,
Yeah.
okay. This was written, but this is we have a new writer on this one.
Mhm.
This is, Paul David. Did you guys look this guy up? Because, buddy, I've got some information on this dude.
I did not.
I meant to. Go ahead.
Okay, so Paul David, he wrote this one. He's a weird case, man. So he did this. He did some episodes of Cops, the cartoon Cops.
Right on.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about before, and
EP
I think
Vets.
it would be good fodder for a Subdivisions episode. I want to.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
He did some Garbage Pail Kids episodes of the cartoon.
Nice.
He did Defenders of the Earth.
Cool.
Great
Which I
theme
was a
song.
big fan of. I love Defenders of the Earth. And I think called Spiral Zone. Do you guys remember
Oh,
Spiral?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a
Um,
cool show. I never get into it. I've seen clips of it. It's a cool show.
I get that show mixed up with another show because they're like, and this is impossible to look up on search engines because they're all broken and bad now. But
Mhm.
there was a cartoon that I saw in the early '90s or the late '80s where the bad guys were called the Skull Squadron. And if you look up the Skull Squadron in an '80s cartoon, all you're going to get is Robotech
Yeah.
because they were the Skull Squadron in that. But I always think that Spiral Zone is the one with the Skull Squadron, but it's not. But I looked the toys up for Spiral Zone, and they're cool. They were 12-inch GI Joe style guys that had cloth uniforms and stuff.
Right.
And Bandai made them in Japan. Apparently, they were pretty big in Japan, which is pretty cool. But Paul David was a writer and also a director. He directed some things, and I need you guys to prepare yourself.
Is this where we lose our PG rating?
I need you to prepare yourself for the doorway of madness here, gentlemen. So back in the '80s, this dude did, or the early '90s, maybe he did a documentary called Roswell that was all about the Roswell.
Right.
Stuff. This is the truth about Roswell, right?
Yeah.
But you remember back in the mid '90s when the X-Files was a thing, like a third of TV was just this. Was alien autopsies and the truth behind Roswell, or the truth about the Sphinx on the moon and all this stuff, right? So that's fine. But he did an update of Roswell this year, 2025.
Love the hustle.
The name of it is UFO/UAP Briefing for America's Rocket Pioneers. The description of this is, it proves the official UFO cover-up with information both old and new. It is a major update of the presentation on UFO/UAPs that Paul Davids, producer of Showtime's Roswell, gave to the founders of America's space programs. So I found it on YouTube and I watched a little bit of this, and man, there's all this footage of like this terrible footage. There's it's mostly him talking with a giant poster of Roswell behind him with Kyle MacLachlan on it, which I'm like, that's the coolest thing, is just a poster.
Oh yeah.
But beyond that, there's a lot of just footage from like C-SPAN of like Nancy Mace and Matt Gates and all these other right wing nuts just talking or whatever, and it's the most boring thing ever. I spent about 15 minutes watching this when I should have been watching Transformers. Uh,
No.
and it's very dull and very boring. And I love UFOs and I love UFO mythology. But I could not watch. This was so bad, and I could not watch it. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, what else has this guy done? Okay, so he has a thing called that he's been doing for a couple of years now, and you can watch this on Tubi. It's the Grand Kingdom of Cookie Land.
Excuse
That
me?
is a show with a little girl with a lie detector built out of looks like a thermos and a telephone cord, where she goes and talks to puppets and this thing looks like it was filmed for about $40. Um,
Wow.
if you guys are familiar with in Pensacola, we have a local guy called Super Mario Logan. If you guys are familiar with this guy,
Yes, yes, with
I
his
am.
Lambo.
yeah, with he just films these puppets on his couch for
Right.
like $0, and this dude is like a multi-millionaire doing stuff. And this looks about like that. Like the sets for this show look like you took giant like poster board and colored it with markers. That's what this show looks like. It is absolutely awful. But
That's amazing, though.
hold on though, guys. We're entering the final chamber here, guys.
Oh, okay. The old
36 chamber.
Final chamber of madness. Let's do this,
Yes. So he did a thing last year, all right, called The Naughty Adventures of Scarlet May Blossom.
man. No.
Okay. It's not that, but what it is it is a fully AI generated sitcom about a girl, Scarlet May Blossom, who lives in a trailer park and runs internet scams and has a bunch of guys trying to marry her. One of which is a Nigerian prince that has 99 wives, and he's the dude behind all the Nigerian prince scams.
God,
Dude,
are you sure this isn't like some harem style anime? Sounds like
I watched it.
Oh my God.
And y'all like I work in IT. I hate AI. AI
Right.
is like I'm ready to call the Butlerian Jihad. I'm ready to go full blown Dune on this crap. I hate it.
Right.
I hate every iteration of AI. I just don't want to use computers anymore because of it. And man, this is one of the worst things that I've ever seen in my life. It's absolutely awful. It's very classist, first of all, because she's from a trailer park, so it's like I grew up in a trailer park,
Right.
and in the South, and this is just like it's just making fun of every trope from the like, oh my boyfriend fixes cars, and I'm like, man, God, like you know how lucky you are to have a boyfriend that fixes cars. That's in the
Ed
South.
really wants that. Ed wants that. He's going to ask for a boyfriend that fixes cars.
I know,
Like that's a practical skill, you know.
It is a practical skill. Yes, exactly. Exactly, and it's very classist to make fun of that stuff, and I don't really like. I mean, I get it, but it's like I think it was Danny McBride that said that he got tired of every time he would get cast in something, it would be a guy named Bubba or Lugnut or something like that,
Right.
And he's like, well, I'm just gonna write Southern people like I want to see, like I want to see, and they're legitimately funny Southern people, so
Right.
Yeah, right,
So, yeah.
Simpsons. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I found out about Paul David, and this dude is yeah, I'm just gonna preemptively cancel this dude. I don't ever want to interview this dude on the show.
Well, I mean, I now know there's a few titles I've got to go back and watch now, so thank you for that. That's
I'll
it's,
watch,
it's
Co- I'll watch Cops, but I mean,
a,
I mean,
God, that sounds amazing, and in
yeah,
the worst possible way.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, so then the show starts. So
yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. So there's like a bunch of Decepticons traveling in Astro Train, and they're going through space. They come across a big, crazy planet with a big Autobot symbol on it.
dude, this is like Chairface Chippendale from the Tick, like carved his
You
name
mean
on the
Cha?
moon. That's what I thought of with this. This is straight.
We don't get any information of why they're just cruising through space either.
No,
I know.
having an
I know.
adventure. They're on their own sabbatical.
But I mean, like something. If it would have been like, "Hey, we have to get to this planet so we can get to this. Like, go get the energy from this planet." That's all you had to do was say that.
Right.
Paul David didn't care.
I I
he
tell
was
you what, one of the big things I've learned from watching these shows again as an adult. Rumble's the best Decepticon.
Oh, he's the best.
Everything he says is just hilarious.
I still think about him stealing cars for the Sunicons during that episode of the Trans Europe Express. Is that what the one? No, it's
No, it is. This is
oh, it's
that
Trans
one,
Europe.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I still think about him stealing drag strip. He's sitting in there like a go-kart driving the thing off. It's the best stuff ever.
I mean, the first line in this episode is just going, "Hey, Astro Train, look out for that asteroid."
Yeah,
Like, I don't know why that killed me, but that killed me.
that reminds me. I got some questions also when we get to them leaving again. But so yeah, like we're gonna go explore this dead planet, this dead colony. We're not gonna wonder why it's dead. We're just gonna explore it.
okay. So about have they find like a monolith here that has ancient prehistoric Autobot writing.
Hmm.
Right.
Like, is that a thing in Transformers? Just like in the milieu and the lore, the fluff of Transformers.
Yes,
Is that
actually.
a real
I
thing?
will.
Like,
I will tell you this. I know you make fun of it. Once my wife got into it, she watched the entire series of Beast Wars. I just finished it today, actually. There is actual two languages in there, and they have there's a cipher out there. You can go and like read what messages the artists are leaving behind, the CG artists are leaving behind for fans to find. There's an actual Rosetta Stone episode. There is actual language. Now this may not be legit, yeah, because it's just random symbols on a bundle. But yes, it is in the lore. There are actually written languages.
I don't mean just the written language, but I mean like this in particular. Is this history like was this touched on again down the road in some other series, or like,
Um,
or was this just some fever dream of a dude
I,
that wanted a robot to write his TV shows for him?
I almost feel like it was touched on at one point, and
Okay,
maybe I'm thinking of this episode. Honestly, I don't know, dude.
okay.
It's
Um,
cool.
we, we,
That's all I
we
care
get a
about.
we get a hologram or a hologram
Hologram.
of an old Autobot that he
Speaking
puts a
and
curse on him in rhyme. And man, any curse that rhymes that's the jam.
done.
I was really wondering, do all ancient Autobots speak in rhyme?
So are the Jekions? Well, no, they just talk. No, is Wheelie an ancient? Okay, well, you haven't
Yeah,
got there yet.
Maybe Willie is a descendant of these guys.
I'm trying to think, like, but Ed doesn't know who that is yet, so we'll get into that later.
Mm.
There's
You're
a
gonna
payoff.
love him, Ed.
Dude, my God, the whole thing you're gonna love. You're not gonna love that part, but yes.
Yeah, you're not gonna love Wheelie. You'll love the rest, but you won't love Wheelie.
Okay.
Okay.
Something I noticed early on in this episode, and it continues through the whole thing, which is Starscream kind of acts like Megatron in this story, and Megatron kind of acts like Starscream.
Yeah.
Starscream's kind of competent in this
He's
episode,
very competent.
and Megatron's kind of a whiny idiot in this episode.
Well, he also just kind of rushes headlong into a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
No forethought.
Think about anything. He just kind of yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, like actually, the Starscream is supposed to be competent. He's supposed to be a former scientist. He should act this way all the time, but of course he doesn't.
But, I mean, like right early on, when he identifies that it's an ancient communication device and also calls Megatron an idiot, that's very a Megatron-y thing to do.
It is very Megatron. But so they find like an ancient artifact is a giant like scarab beetle looking thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I mean, any Egyptian stuff is cool. But Starscream, a former scientist, man, this dude just goes straight up like Indiana Jones and just is trying to like rip this thing off the pedestal and take it with him.
Hey,
Well, speaking of, guys, I know we're trying to keep this PG, but doesn't it kind of look like he's trying to marry the lightning bug?
He was trying to know the lightning bug, I believe.
And then Rumble comes to help him, but Rumble just grabs his leg. Like, how is that helpful?
leave my lightning bug alone.
I was gonna say that, but I forgot to write it down.
Oh God.
Oh God.
And then
yeah,
Megatron comes to help, and he marries it real hard. Like it's upsetting how much he marries the lightning.
Maybe Megatron's the Nigerian prince. Maybe he gets the harem down the road.
lightning bugs. Oh God. So then,
This animation was not so good.
good.
Like yeah, so they
Yeah,
steal this thing and they take off.
it's such a weird MacGuffin too.
That is a well, but it really isn't the MacGuffin though.
You
Like
know, you're right. You're right, but it
this isn't the
feels
MacGuffin.
like
This is
it.
just
There's
like a
like 2.5 MacGuffins in
there
this,
are
really.
yeah.
Well, it's I would call it. I would totally call this a Chekhov's gun, but it's not really.
Right.
No, because they use it the whole time. It's not like
Yeah, they use it
not
a
like they show it and then put it away. It's just like, hey man, we got a heat ray. We're gonna shoot it all over the place, all over the galaxy.
Or yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that's all a weird thing. But dude, they leave with it. They've got it. They've got the pedestal and everything on Astro Train. They're flying back with Lightning Bug that they've all married now. And what is with the asteroid that suddenly flies off and pursues them?
I was asking about that. Why? Why is this sentient asteroid?
Dude, it comes out of orbit like, oh, okay, there's a ship. I'm gonna go attack it. Why? I expected there to be an alien on there or something.
And then, honestly, why did they decide to blow it up? I'd want to find out why the asteroid is pursuing me. Like,
there might be something cool in there. It might be some rare gems or like, there might be some energy in there. You never know.
the element X or whatever that is.
Element X. Element X. So I mean, so the Decepticons decide to test out the lightning bug and blow this thing up. So which is cool because apparently Astro Train has like a special like thing where you can just like plug in a death ray into his butt and
yeah. Dude, there's a hole in the back end where there like an engine should go, and that's where they shoot through the butthole.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But so they blow this thing up, but like they don't think that like this is gonna make shrapnel, and it just rips through the Astro Train, which is pretty cool. But Megatron gets a chunk of it in his chest, and he's laid up like he's Khal Drogo.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm like,
totally.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. Like, okay, I'm down. I'm down with this. But then, so Starscream's going to operate on him, and instead of using his fingers, he swaps out his hand for the clamp. Because the clamp, I guess,
it's like a scientist tool, man. He's like a little. He's a claw.
He's already got robot fingers. That's the most like manual dexterity you can get is out of fingers. And then, so he pulls his chunk out, and then Megatron rusts over the place. He is Khal Drogo. This is 100% just Game of Thrones. This is just the non-Westeros Game of Thrones thing.
J.R. Tolkien got his idea for Khal Drogo off of Gods of Rust.
Who did?
Oh God! Oh my God!
J.R.
Yeah, not Tolkien. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Jesus, that's like a turn.
Only the finest fantasy writers have two middle names. So
yeah.
Back to his claw. Like, it'd be one thing if he picked up some claw device as to protect his hand from the foreign object.
Right.
But it's also his body.
It's an alternate hand.
He just uses a different thing on his body.
Old guy claw things they use to pick up things on the ground. It's got little 2 suction cups.
Yeah, like a grabbing claw.
Yeah, grabber.
Yes.
Grabbing claw.
He's over there cleaning up garbage on the side of the interstate with that. But yeah, pulls it out and there's this of red dust.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, huh, you seem to be rusting. And Megatron's like, we don't rust, man.
Right.
We're not subtle to rust. So that's forgotten about for a little while. But we have an award given out. An award for one of Ed's favorite characters.
Oh, this geek. All right, so man. All right, so they're giving Perceptor an award, and I couldn't understand what the guy said, and I backed it up like 3 times to hear what he invented, and I could not understand what he was saying. But the subtitles, the first time he says it, they call it Kerstock, Kerstock. But then at various points through this entire episode, it's called Choral Stop, Chorus Top, Course Stop, Chorus Time.
And
I have no idea. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. They didn't, and they just said like, "Oh yeah, invented Course Stop." Like, all right, cool. What is it?
That's your MacGuffin number 2.
MacGuffin number 2. Yeah.
Yes.
So all I know about it is that he wants to coat all the world's monuments in this stuff. So I guess it's like Teflon or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So yeah, it's not non-stick surface. You're going to be able to cook eggs on the Statue of Liberty, but we only have enough for the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, it'd be pretty
And so,
handy.
yeah, we already didn't we like okay during the 80s. I might be mistaken. I don't think I am. Didn't like Reagan do a thing where he like sandblasted the Statue of Liberty and cleaned up the torch and stuff?
There was a massive like rebuild of it
Yeah.
or renovation of it where they had like scaffolds around it for like almost a year, I think. I remember
Okay, I thought it was, like I was making sure that wasn't some like the Berenstain Bears thing that I was remembering, or
that would
but
have been around I think that was around like 84, I think was when they
okay,
were
yeah, so that
um
makes sense because that's probably why this was written to this episode because restoring the Statue of Liberty is a big deal.
Well, real world things creeping in.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of acid rain in 30 years.
it's all acid rain
I'm
now.
real worried about that. That was on I was up there with scorpions and quicksand, things that I don't have to
Yes.
worry about. Small.
Yeah, the problem with that is though, like I my wife and I both are in environmental science. It's
Right.
still very much a thing, and no one talks about it anymore because they got tired of talking about it. But it's still very much a thing.
I mean,
And
I figured, nothing's getting better. So
oh
I
no,
figured it was still out there. No one's talking.
it's just we're even faster going to the end times of our environment. So we just stopped talking about it because may as well enjoy good music and like action figures while you can.
Yeah, I mean, sounds about right.
Yeah.
So,
So Ed, you hate Perceptor, right?
yeah, I don't like Percept. I mean, I'm
I
not really saying that I don't like him in the show. I had the toy when I was a kid, and I really liked him when I was a kid.
that that is my thing with Perceptor. He's just too cool of a toy and too cool of a design to be C3PO.
Yeah, he's a total geek, and like, and not in a good way. Not in
He
like
should be Doc Savage, is who he should be.
a.
He should be a action man scientist.
I mean, everybody should be an action man scientist. That's how
true.
all scientists should
Did
be in everything.
did
Like,
either of y'all see Ben 10, the show?
yeah,
Yeah.
my son watched a lot
The
of
grandpa is the same voice actor, Paul Eating.
Oh
All
yeah.
right on.
Yeah, Ben's grandpa, the cool Hawaiian shirt guy, same voice actor, really nice guy. He actually did. I think he's done voices in like the Metal Gear Solid games and stuff. Yeah, super cool guy. He still goes around a lot of the conventions and things. So yeah, man. He is like Perceptor is not as cool as he should be. I think we can all agree to that. But nerd culture and like science stuff was really big. Like, he turned into a barely working microscope. So I mean,
It kind of worked though. I mean, and that was
kind of worked.
cool though. And yeah,
It was like looking at a magnifying glass in a tray.
I mean, yeah, you could read like small print with it if you could shove small print under it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was the reason why I chose him over the Tomax and Zaymot. I don't know how I feel about that now. I know.
Man.
I know. Crimson Guard commanders are really cool.
And I would much rather have had I would rather have Tomax and Zaymot sitting on my desk right now than have Perceptor sitting on my desk. Just saying.
Thanks, man, because I got Perceptor on my desk. I appreciate that.
That's fine. That's fine. That's your desk. It looks fine for my house. So
yeah.
So they're spraying this stuff on the Statue of Liberty, and
Yeah.
finally, like on the side of the truck that's spraying it, it says "Corro stop."
Yeah.
So, like as in corrosion stop. So he just invented Rust-Oleum.
Right.
Like cool, man. Like yeah, like
Checks out, man.
like people had been spraying the stuff on like 67 Impalas for like the past 30 years. Like
Over the
everyone in the South knows what Rust-Oleum is. Like, oh man, you gotta spray it all over those lawn chairs. You gotta fall through 'em.
Speaking of spraying, when the aerial bots show up to help out, they say another non-PG line, which is "Let's spray old Lady Liberty." Oh my! This is there's some adult content in this episode.
Oh man.
I didn't pick up on that ever in like 40 years. So I'm not ever gonna not hear that now.
That's all you're gonna think of when you
Yeah, I am.
you think of Statue of Liberty, the aerial bots.
It's
That's all
sprayed by the aerial bots.
Dude,
Everybody,
man,
actually.
the Stunticons show up. Riding the ferry. They're riding a ferry, but one of them's skiing. One of them's like water skiing.
Drag strip.
Yeah.
Dude, we haven't seen we haven't seen an Autobot or a Decepticon like surfing or skiing or snowboarding in a lot of episodes, man. I'm
Welcome to
really
Doom.
here for this. And
I'm
like,
here
I
for it.
wanted to see the pyramid. You remember the old school pyramid where like
Yeah.
be like 20 ladies making a pyramid?
Some Jaws 3D.
I wanted
That
that
Jaws
real
2.
bad, man. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
that was it was very cool. I
yeah, he
wanted
shows
that.
up in like he jumps over. I guess it was like who was it was taking him on across on the water? I think it was like Dead End was pulling him or so, anyways, flips onto the dock where there's like this woman interviewing Perceptor.
It's the Baroness.
Yeah,
She
I was
looks-
gonna say
I-
this is the B plot we never get to see. That was
That's-
the Baroness
The
undercover.
Baroness, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for ruining the hook there, buddy. It was yeah, she's like talking like she's in one of her disguised voices, like, "Hey, something happened to Perceptor. I should tell the commander."
Voice actor was so weird. That was such a weird.
Sounded
that
like she was
a weird
16,
voice.
actually.
What's that?
She sounded like she was 16, the voice actor.
That
Did
was, so,
this?
that was so bizarre, man.
Yeah.
But I want you to keep in mind that the Decepticons took a ferry, a water ferry. I want you to keep that in mind for something that's going to happen later on.
Oh, I know what we're going for. Yes.
Good. I love that the fairy like breakdown, the Senecon breakdown goes and like tells all the people to get into the captain's cabin. It throws them in a garage door. That's not the captain's cabin. That's like like where all the cars are. Get in the captain's cabin. Shuts it.
Why? What are they?
I
gonna
mean,
do?
maybe they were thinking if they were the captain, that's where they would hang out. So it might have just been a misunderstanding of smaller people's culture.
Yeah, it's true. There are all cars in there, so I could see that. See, you know.
Maybe there were some delicious crackers in there, so he thought that's where the captain would hang out.
Right.
So that's usually what if I were the captain, I would be looking for those delicious wafers that he gets.
All those wafers that are just like a stick of butter in every single one.
So good.
That is the dumbest joke. Appreciate
No,
it.
it isn't. No, it absolutely isn't. And that's
Dude,
a
he
great.
said it. I knew you were going.
Joke about the captain's wafers. It's good. And I went to lunch one time and with a mutual friend of ours, and there was a whole basket of them on the table. And I just took them and I put them, and I kept them with me. And he was like, "Hey, let me get one of those." And I was like, "No, you cannot have any of these because you're not the captain."
Let me make sure. These are the ones
Yeah,
with
how
like
does-
the sour cream and chives in the center, right?
What? No, I'm talking
No,
about
those are Lance crackers.
yeah.
They're Lance Captain wafers, sandwich cookies or sandwich crackers. They're like they got like sour cream and chives in the middle of it.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
my
no,
favorite
those are
ones.
good,
This.
Yeah, no, I just mean like the plain ones, like the
I'm too fancy
cracker,
for that.
I believe is the generic. There's the
I
Keebler.
am too fancy. I am the captain now.
It's like when you go to the New Yorker deli and they have that basket on the table where it's like half Captain wafers and half saltines.
Saltines.
Whoever touches those saltines?
No, man.
God.
Those are all there when you leave, but those captain wafers are depleted.
That's a place I haven't thought of in years. The New York Deli. My God.
It's delicious.
It's still there and it's still delicious.
It's good little like, lunch food thing, man.
Mm.
Oh man. Okay, now you're making me think of all the things I actually like from Pensacola. So stop. Anyways, yeah, they go and they steal Perceptor and they go and see like I guess this is like Dirge and Ramjet take Perceptor in to see Megatron. And he's like in the shadows because he's called Drogo and he's dying. He's going to be resurrected by the witch here soon. It's like, Perceptor, I need a favor. And then you show him what
You breeze past a very important part, which is that the cone heads can operate the lightning bug without molesting it. They just used it. There was no crotchal activity in their firing up.
Well, it's actually if you look at their structure, their cockpits are on their head, so they're down there with your hands, you know.
Right.
So there's your PG-13. That was dumb as hell. Anyway, they have no idea what's going on with Megatron. Like he turns around, he's got. Well, I know it's cosmic. It looks like someone smeared poo on him. It's like brown and it's like streaks and stuff. And like the Conehead's like, oh,
Right.
they don't know what's going on. Yeah, he's got the poo monster on him. So I think Perceptor is like, hey, I'm not going to help you because you go to war with us. He's like, I'll make you a deal. If you cure me, we'll call a truce here, and I won't, I'll do what you need to, and everything will be happy. We know that's a lie as soon as he says it.
Right, right.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. But Perceptor, just gives him all the juice.
Well,
So
he doesn't though. He's like, here, like, beep, beep, here, put this on your hand. He's like, all right, on the other hand, give me that. That's what he does. He's like, well, this is mine now, obviously, because it's curing me.
So I feel like since I'm the only one who keeps bringing this up, I must be fixating. But notice that Perceptor gives Megatron the option of, hey, this is happening really fast, but we could just destroy your heat ray and you'd be fine for a while because the heat ray is exacerbating it. And Megatron's like, how dare you? Because I think Megatron's in love with the lightning bug.
Yes.
Like, he won't even consider that.
Man, maybe so. Maybe
the subplot we needed this episode.
I think you're right.
This is definitely the subplot we needed. Thank you. I gotta rewatch this now. I've missed the whole love story part of this. But here we go.
Watch it with the Titanic music.
Yeah, I was thinking like the Beauty and the Beast, just tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Megatron and the Lightning Bug. So yeah, I gotta see this.
I don't remember how we got to this part, but like, so I guess they started using the bug or something, and then.
Oh yeah, though he Megatron radios up. Well, he radios Prime. And Prime's like, Megatron, what do you want? He's like, I've got a deal. And he's like sparkling too. He's
he's so shiny now.
When
the Rust-Oleum.
Oh yeah, when like there was what was the name of the Palmolive or whatever? It had the thing where like the old commercial was like you would like sparkle and shine your place and stuff. Yeah. So that's what he looks like. What's that?
I forgot all about that commercial.
I obviously I did not because I can't retain things I'm actually trying to learn. So. Yeah, he's on the monitor sparkling like Palmolive, and he like Optimus Prime's like, what do you want? And he's like, well, I'm gonna offer good faith. I will give Perceptor back to you. He's gonna be in Fox Canyon, right by your base. Oh, how long? When is he gonna be there? He's there now, and he's got a stick of metal dynamite sticks that's gonna burn once his microscope goes through the sun or it takes the sun through there.
Hold on, before that, we're getting a little ahead of it though, because before that, there was a part where the Blitzwing shows up and the aerial bots go to chase him back to Decepticon headquarters.
Oh, that's right. Because they were riding around Blitzwing.
Right. I don't know how Blitzwing showed up, but that's always I'm always like seeing another triple changer hanging out. We got both of them.
Yeah.
In this episode, that was cool.
Oh yeah, it's kind of unusual. And Blitzwing, they're not trying to take over anything either, which is kind of unusual.
Right.
Oh, and we totally like. I'm gonna go past this, but I gotta reference back. Astrotrain brings up like when they first see the inscription and stuff. Astrotrain's like, dude, I don't mess with this stuff. If it rhymes and it talks about doom, I am not touching that. Rumble's like, me either, dude. This is Starscream's like, no, come on, I got this. This is communication. And sorry, I forgot about that. That was one of my favorite bits of this. Like, Astrotrain's like, dude, no.
and he was totally right.
100% right.
Well, so he's a bass player because he's like, oh, you guys are writing lyrics? No, I don't do that. I don't
Just tell me my beat. The
aerial bots chase Blitzwing though to Decepticon headquarters, and so they start shooting at the aerial bots with the heat ray, with the with the lightning bug or whatever. And I guess it was Silverbolt just like freaks out. He's like, it's a heat ray and it works.
It's like, holy crap! They made something that works.
It implies a long history of heat rays that did not work.
Right?
Where are those episodes?
Right. My God!
How if it didn't work? How'd you know it was a heat ray? But then he just goes, notify Prime. Like it's like I'm telling Mom. I'm telling.
They go back to the arc and they're like, yeah, look, gotta get replacement parts immediately. Look at my tail. Like no one
we're
cared.
jumping around a lot, but this also reminded me there was a part that I think we just skipped over that I felt was very important, which was Cosmos out in space
Oh
saying,
yeah,
"There's no more of the element anywhere."
yeah. Element X, I think is what they called
Oh,
it.
yeah,
You covered everywhere, Cosmos.
everywhere.
Like you
Everywhere.
had, and what was even sillier than that is he was talking to Blaster,
Blaster.
who was with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Blaster was there for the search. Why did Blaster not know that they hadn't found it?
Well, Blaster. Oh my! What? Are you serious? Like, Prime's not going to be happy about this.
Right.
It's like, well, could you talk about that in space and not when you're landing
Yeah.
on the planet? You've been all over the galaxy looking for this stuff, and ew.
I love that that one of the points of this episode is Element X.
Right.
It's like the Powerpuff Girls when he created the Powerpuff Girls. It was Chemical X.
That's what I was trying to think of. So
Yeah, man.
but back on to Perceptor's in a Doctor Doom style trap here. This is cool, man. This is
Right.
like I'm here for any Marvel Comics death trap. Like I love these things.
Right.
Like the most convoluted thing ever. Like I'm gonna knock out the Avengers, and I'm gonna like put Captain America in a Doctor Doom suit, and then I'm gonna have a giant slingshot with the shield in it, having the thing hold it when he wakes up. So that like, why is
I mean, this is basically like putting Wolverine in a trap that his claws are the trap.
Yes,
because Perceptor's using his own power against himself in this.
Right.
This is kind of an early jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, it's like Saw. Again, this is a very adult episode. Very
yeah, man. It's like, if you want to save your friend, you must get there before 12 o'clock when the sun goes through his microscope lens and burns the bomb and detonates him all completely.
Although one problem I had with it is if it was going to come through his lens at noon, wouldn't his thing be pointed straight up?
I just said
like it was
could have been like 3 p.m.
About 11 o'clock.
Sure. I made it at that time because I forgot to write down the time. So yes, we'll say it's 11 o'clock. We could have said 3 o'clock. I'm not sure. But okay, also, why didn't Prime just pick up the metal dynamite sticks and throw it?
That's a great point.
Okay. I thought about that also, and the no prize here is that those were like a part of the base that was built into the base. That's the only reason that I could come up with for it, and that's fine. But
yeah. I mean, it's already metal dynamite, so it may as well be part of the base.
Exactly. Like that's
with a regular wick, by the way.
With a regular wick,
Good job on your no prize.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Send it to me.
Yes. So Optimus Prime pulls Perceptor off of the base and it explodes Perceptor's like, no, Prime, I'm covered with the cosmic rust. It's too late for you. You should leave now. Leave me here. Like, no, you're coming back with me. He like cradles him and takes him back to base.
Right. It's almost like he's trying to get infected.
It is. It totally is.
It's like he has that whole disappearing truck bed he could have put him in.
Oh, totally. I mean,
that thing has a grab and claw.
Yeah, exactly.
This
is like, hey man, don't go to Coachella because it's COVID's going on. Like, no, I got to go see Radiohead.
It's like the there was that movie. Was it Contagion? The one that had like a bunch of huge actors in, like Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, it's like that. Like everyone's about to get real sick because they're in the middle of all these sick people, and like you're surprised when oh God, what is her name? Kate Winslet dies.
Right.
Why are you surprised? She was in the middle of all the sick people. Of course she died.
Right.
That's Prime does the same thing. He's Kate Winslet right here, cradling, Perceptor, taking it back to base. And then, they're in base and he's trying to type things on Teletran 1. He's like, oh no, what's wrong with Teletran 1? It's not responding. Forgetting anything about Teletran 1. And looks at his hand. Oh no, it's too late.
Rust. Yeah.
But doesn't even acknowledge the fact that Teletran 1 is probably rusting up from the inside. They don't like shine up Teletran 1 with Corostop.
Right.
Oh yeah. Everything should have been.
They should have put a dome tent on this thing and gassed it all.
I also in this scene we get a great line from Blaster, which is, "I'm too young a dude to die," which is something I think all the time.
I still, even in my old age, I still think about that. I still think that exact line in my brain often. So,
Oh
So
God.
okay, so we get yet another mini MacGuffin here of like
But from out of nowhere.
we need to make more of this stuff. So what about the matter duplicator? And dude, Optimus Prime in this is just like, dude, he shuts it, like it doesn't work. It never worked.
I really, again, that's like a missing episode I want to see. I want to see the episode that Prime is so mad about when they tried to use the matter duplicator and it just let him down.
Yep.
Like he has some issues about the matter duplicator.
Dude, this dude is he is angry about that. Like he is so mad. So but apparently in the next scene they're like, well, let's try the matter duplicator anyway. All you had to do was kick it.
I don't know what they're trying to duplicate, but it worked.
Well, apparently, what it looked like is they were trying to duplicate a pile of dog crap because that's what it looked like in the animation.
Did.
It was like now we have one pile of dog crap. Now we have two piles of dog crap. And I'll tell you what. You know what? If you have a dog, you can have many. You have unlimited numbers. You have many.
Dude, there was the idea that they have still the worst surveillance system ever. Laserbeak was apparently just camping out there for a while, listening to everything they're talking about. They're like he goes back to Decepticon base, and Soundwave very uncharacteristically just pulls the cassette out and puts it in the computer. Doesn't let him like transform, do the whole thing.
Right.
He's like, here you go, shunk, and plays back all the Autobots going, oh, dying, and then the idea that he was there long enough to catch Blaster talking about or it was a Blaster. He's talking about we can just scrape it off the Statue of Liberty. Right. I think it was Blaster.
Blaster or Wheeljack.
Yeah, they came up with a plan like, we can just scrape it off the Statue of Liberty. And Laserbeak's like, all right, cool, I got exactly what I was looking for, and I'm leaving. He was just there for the perfect amount of time. I got to hand it to Laserbeak, MVP of this episode for the Decepticons.
Well, again, this is another scene where Megatron was really Starscreamy because he starts off so gloaty. Oh, too bad they put all of the Rust-Oleum on the Statue of Liberty. Mm-hmm. And then when they present the idea of, hey, we'll just go get some from the Statue of Liberty, he totally craps his pants. He's like, we got to go destroy that right now.
Man, all right. So, God. So, okay. So first of all, I was taking notes while I was watching this, and so yeah, Laserbeak is the MVP because he's the spy in this, and I have zero memory of he was on the screen so briefly and so hidden so well that I didn't see him. I didn't know he was even in this episode. So apparently he is the MVP of this. He actually did his job. He was in disguise the entire time.
Spy.
He fooled a 50-year-old man.
Also, we're having a real time keeping this linear, but have we already passed the part where Megatron's just heating up the arc so it'll make the
we're getting there right now.
More uncomfortable because
you're getting us back on track. Actually,
I don't think we're quite. I don't think we're quite yet.
We are right there because you're noticing everyone's getting like rust on them, and it's happening really fast. And they're like, "How's this happening?" And like Megatron's out there with his wife, with like it turned down to like 0.5 power, like when you're trying to melt a stick of butter in the microwave, and just like kind of like lightly heating them up. He's trying to saute them, but not too quickly.
And, like, who is it asks him, like, hey, I think maybe it's Rumble who asks him, hey, why don't we just use that to blow up the arc? Because I don't want to blow up the arc. I want to make them very uncomfortable.
I want to make them suffer. Yet another Doctor Doom trap.
Right. There's a really, like, a throwaway line from Ratchet. He's like, hey, is anyone getting really hot? It feels really hot in here. Right. It was just like a line, and no one else even mentions anything about it after that. That's when you find out. He beam, like, yes, you have something for the class.
So in this episode, there is an instance where each side can just completely wipe out the other side for good.
Yeah, Perceptor could have just been like, "Nah, I'm out of here."
Comic book plots. So
yeah.
But so the Decepticons are they decide they're going to go blow up Statue of Liberty, and this is around the time, I think this is a couple of years after this, but I don't know if you guys remember that David Copperfield.
I remember definitely.
Did a thing back in the 80s where he was going to make the Statue of Liberty disappear. You guys remember this?
I do.
I definitely do. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that was a big deal. That was
a huge.
That was like event TV. Back then you had to watch that stuff because if you didn't watch it, you just didn't see it. But like my friend and I were talking about it. Man, I wonder how he's going to do that. And so my friend, his mom was sitting there with us, and she was a very, very devout Jehovah's Witness, and she said, "I know how he does it. He has outside help." And we were like, "Oh, he has like people that like a crew that helps him." And she's like, "You know who's helping him? It's Satan." She was dead serious that Satan, that all of David Copperfield's abilities come from Satan. So
Checks out.
take a detour, and I was like, man, I'm gonna watch that because I hadn't seen it in a I hadn't seen it since it first aired, and I was probably like 8 or 9. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch that, and I watched it, and it's fine, whatever, But they're interviewing people after the like after he makes it disappear and makes it reappear. And there's this old woman who I think is she's probably like a German immigrant that probably came over like right after World War II or something like that. It's probably like Project Paperclip or something like that. But she says literally, this is word for word. She says, "I have never seen a Statue of Liberty disappear the way this one did."
My little collection at home.
Like,
Man, this
how
one.
many do you have? How many have you seen? How many Statues of Liberty have you seen? And how many have you seen disappear? Not like this. Not like she's like. This is the first time I've ever seen a Statue of Liberty disappear like this one did. Like, I've seen it disappear, but not like that.
Like, I knew someone who was a personal assistant for David Copperfield for like 3 days. And he has like a crew of personal assistants.
I bet he does.
And she had to sign an NDA after it. So wow. I don't, but I could talk for a half an hour about this at least. But the funniest part of it, I'll just say what the funniest part of it I thought was, is that, when he's doing his stunts, he has like a headset mic on, or his tricks that, he talks to the audience and he says mysterious things to, but he's got like a button that he can hit while he's doing it, where he just talks to his staff. And so, like, while he would be behind a screen having disappeared or something, he'll switch from saying his mysterious magic things to like, "I would really appreciate it if when I'm done, someone has my 2-piece KFC meal in the back for me. I do not want gravy on my potatoes. If there are gravy on my potatoes, someone is getting fired."
Wow. Dude, if you don't want the KFC gravy, you're wrong.
Yeah, you're out of your mind, first of all, for not, because the gravy is delicious. But second of all, like, I don't care if I get fired. The real threat is if there's gravy on those potatoes, I'm making you disappear, and I'm not bringing you back. Like, you guys know that I have outside help. You know who it is. You know who helps me.
Satan. It's Satan, man. We're dogs. So back to this, man. They're going to go just scrape a little chorus stop off the Statue of Liberty. They just need a little chisel off so they can
reuse
it and like use the matter replicator. They have a replicator. They have a Star Trek replicator, and this is the only time you hear about it in the entire series. Why?
It never comes up again.
Yeah, why don't they replicate like the Dinobots and have like an army of Dinobots? That'd be cool.
Like,
hey, why don't they replicate some Energon?
That'd be even cooler.
Yeah, it's probably some thermodynamic law or something like that. You can't create energy. Well, what if you use other energy? No, it's not the same thing. I don't know, dude. Yeah, it kind of wraps up quickly though. This whole episode.
It really does. It's like that thing where you're writing your name really big on a piece of paper and you realize at the end you ran out, so the last 2 letters are tiny. Like, that's what this is like.
Yeah, it is. Like, oh, was it Paul David?
Is it Minosaur? Is that his name?
Oh yeah, Minosaur. Minosaur's
shooting. Well, he's shooting the heat ray from the bug, and the aerobots like dive and attack, and like they hit him. But so I think what he says here is damage, but it's so like weird, muffled, and modulated that it sounds like he's saying damage.
It's Minosaur. He probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so he drops the thing, and Superion blows up the lightning bug, and then the Decepticons retreat, and they fly away. So they took the ferry there to carry the lightning bug, but then they just fly away.
They took the ferry twice there.
Twice.
And then yeah, at the end it's like Megatron told them to fly, and they're like, oh crap, we could fly this whole time?
Yeah, let's go.
Do you know they took the Staten Island ferry? Yeah, the Staten Island ferry, I think at that time was like 50 cents or something to ride. Do you think he isn't paid? It's free now because I mean, obviously, if robots are going to use it anyways, might as well make it free.
Well, maybe that's why one of them was skiing. He didn't have the 50 cents.
You got to ride on the back.
But the other one was dragging him with a boat. Where did he get that boat? Did he steal it?
Oh yeah, definitely sold that boat. That boat is
is that another Decepticon that we don't know about? There's a boat Decepticon out there.
No, there's not. I'm sorry, I got to burst it right there, man. God, there's okay, completely left turn here, but I was watching some of Transformers Victory, which is one of the Japanese shows, and
Right.
they have the Micromasters in there. There's a bunch of Micromasters like a rescue squad or whatever that they have with them during the whole thing. There's like I can't remember all their names. Like there's a little fire truck. There's a boat called like I think it's like Boater or something. I can't remember the name. Anyways, so they have a little thing with onomatopoeia in Japan. The ambulance is called Peepo. Peepo, Peepo, Peepo. Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's kind of cute and ridiculous. That was never, you never anglicize that. You're like, Peepo.
It's like if you named him Wee or something like that.
Yeah. Wee woo. Yeah, exactly. Oh, the wee woo's coming. Like, yeah, it transforms.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's incredibly stupid. And it's kind of adorable in the same way.
Oh, man. All right. So I don't want to say that I didn't like this episode, but I don't think I loved it either. I mean, we got a combiner battle at the end that just didn't really go anywhere. We get some Transformers history, but it was almost like an afterthought, like well, I got to put something in here somehow. There's a lot of elements in this episode that I really like, but I don't think they came together like I wanted them to come together. And so, like, Kid Brain probably would have been a little bored with a lot of this, like sitting around and just like dying of rust would have, and like I mean like my hand fell off, like a little dull. But however, I will say that there are some elements of this that I probably, like as a kid, I probably would have stolen to play with my toys with, like the whole rust thing. I probably would have, like, I could really see myself taking like Play-Doh or Silly Putty and using that and putting all over my action figures,
Right.
and making that into like a little storyline or something like that. Kid Brain, like, I mean, it's kind of middle of the road. I'd probably go like 3 VHS tapes that talk about ancient Martian monoliths out of 5. Adult Brain, I think, might be tainted from learning all this stuff about Ryder. But like it was fine, but it was like who cares? I think other episodes have done the same thing but better, and everything just kind of like, it was like, oh well, this is gonna happen, and it just like, okay, and it just happens and it's done. So I'm gonna go 2 AI written rhyming curses on your bass player who can't write lyrics out of 5. That's what I'm gonna go on now. Where are you guys on this?
Well, first of all, Kid Me would have loved this episode just because they show a lot of Transformers in it.
There are a lot of Transformers.
You know, I mean, there's that big group spot before they get to go to see Perceptor, where they just show a ton of Autobots. And really, that's what I was there for as a kid. I just wanted to see lots of Transformers. I'd say also, I think this episode was packed with a lot of stuff because we kept passing over things that we wanted to talk about, things that were kind of fun and cool about it. So it was packed with a lot of cool. And we passed over my favorite line in the show. So I would say Kid Me would give this 4, giving me the surges.
That's a great one. Give me the surges.
I typed out "giving me the surges" and I just totally glazed over it when I was going through my notes.
It sounds like Bismarcky or something like that. You caught the surges. Uh, 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 but I think adult me actually liked this one even more because he has a sort of rusted brain and he caught all the adult content in this. So I think
You did
adult
catch a lot
me
of
is really going with 5, giving me the surges. Like,
I'm
Like the
certain that's
vapors.
a perfect score. Wow.
yeah.
No, I mean,
I had a really good time with this one, man.
man, honestly, we're talking about like this made me appreciate it so much more, though. I like this because, first of all, dude, I love the whole like Twilight Zone style. We're gonna go visit this lost colony. It's like we don't know what's going on, and let's get very very like superstitious about it, and all these rhyming death knells of things that are gonna happen to you, and then they're like, that's cool. Let's take it with us. Like you said, the Starscream also he's very competent. He
Right.
was the guy who was like you should have listened to Rumble. And you should have listened to Astro Train, which I'll never say again, even though Rumble is the funniest part of the show to me right now. But yeah, man, the idea that they take this back in like a random asteroid that actually causes the rust that was beautiful, and that they put together the heat ray and cosmic rust really early on, and they're like, oh hey, we're smarter than the entire colony of Autobots. Let's just use this and make it like worthwhile. All this stuff, there was so much going on. Like you said, there's 2.5 McGuffins in the entire episode. There was so much going on in this. I kind of loved it. I kind of loved how like dire and like I don't know, it just terrible it was for the everyone involved, including dude. You called it, man. The Doom trap. That was great stuff.
Right.
That was so much. And I actually, this is the one episode I remember as a kid, which is why I was reminded of that choice between the Tomax and Zaymot pack or Perceptor. This episode actually really made me like Perceptor. So kid, I say kid brain, which I still think I have, and I never separate the two myself. I really like this, man, and there are so many beautiful relationships made in this episode. I think really takes to the top, and I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. 4.5. Sorry, see, 4.5 wives out of 5. I don't know, dude. That was really well. That was really well thought out. I think about this before you get in there.
That came off Mormon. But it came off kind of like Mormon death cult. Things were going to happen. Like one of these wives is just a half now. That can't be good.
What do you think the Autobot colony was, man? It's like afterlife. They have their own planet.
Maybe David Copperfield sawed that wife in half, and that's why you only have
that. Left her in the Statue of Liberty. All right, guys. Yeah, man. This is so much fun. Y'all give us a follow and like. Check out once again the Real Phonies, REELPHONIES. I have to spell it out in my head again. Yeah, check them out. They're a lot of fun. Just talking about random movies and TV shows and anime. And of course, thank you always for being here, Jayhu and Ed. Obviously, man, a lot of fun. So I'll see you in another 8 months. And y'all take it easy. Have a great week, and I appreciate you being here. Y'all take it easy.
Roll out.
Thank you. More Than Meets These Guys, a Transformers podcast, is performed by Evan Johns, Boo of the ExcellentUnderground.com, and Ed Strickland. Research is done by Evan Johns, Boo of the ExcellentUnderground.com, and Ed Strickland. Special thanks to Hasbro, Marvel, Skybound, and the occasional extra property, which we will name at whatever time is appropriate for that episode. And without all of you, this is really not even possible. So thanks for being here, and thanks for checking us out every week. Goodbye.